somewhere between $25,000 a year and 1 million, your stress is supposed to disappear. It doesn't disappear, it changes its name. In the next 13 minutes, you'll see the exact published dollar amount where that happens. And it's probably not the number you'd guess. The email says, raise approved. Payday comes. You open the app. The number is bigger than it's ever been. You wait for the feeling that's supposed to come with it. A flicker shows up, then nothing else does. Same apartment, same tired, same bills buzzing your phone tomorrow. Picture two versions of you checking that same app, waiting for that same feeling. One earns $25,000 a year, the other earns well past 1 million. The gap between what they earn is enormous. The gap between what their face looks like in that moment is a lot smaller than you'd guess. That gap is what this video is about. 7 income levels, $25,000 to past 1 million. No apartment tour, no car upgrade at every level. We're tracking your stress, what relief actually shows up, and what refuses to leave no matter how big the number gets. Call it the relief ladder. 2 things to watch for. First, there's a real studied dollar amount where your day-to-day mood stops improving much. Not where you think. I'll show you the actual research around the middle of this video. Second, by the top of this ladder, the exact feeling from level 2 comes back, just with more zeros attached. You won't see it coming. For now, remember the raise. Bigger number, same face. Let's start at the bottom. $20, or risk it to 25. That's an actual decision happening in real time at a gas pump for someone at this level, not because they can't do the math, but because there's no room behind the number. Level 1, survival math. Rent takes a chunk before you see it. Groceries take another. Gas takes whatever's left. Zero float means one unexpected cost doesn't just cost money. It forces a choice about which other bill loses this week. You recheck your balance before confirming a $14 order, not because you're bad with money, because the number is genuinely that close to the edge. More money would objectively fix this. Full stop, worth saying clearly, because this video is about to get more complicated than that. Just not yet, and not here. At the next level, the panic fades. Something else fades with it. And you won't see that part coming. A friend mentions a slightly nicer apartment. You're recalculating your own progress before they finish the sentence. That's $50,000 a year talking. Level 2, breathing room, new comparison. For a few weeks, this feels like winning. Bills clear with days to spare. A surprise expense is annoying instead of catastrophic. Then, without asking permission, your comparison point moves. You stop measuring against who you were at 25,000. You start measuring against whoever's nearby right now, 60, 70, 80,000. Psychologists have a name for this. The reference point doesn't hold still. It resets to your surroundings almost immediately, which is why I made it never quite lands. The finish line moved back 30 feet the moment you got close. Hold on to that resetting reference point. It comes back near the end of this video at a level you would not expect. In 2010, 2 Princeton economists ran the numbers on exactly this question, and the answer surprised even them. Level 3, the Mood Plateau. Daniel Kahneman and Angus Deaton studied income against day-to-day emotional well-being, mood, stress, how good yesterday felt, and found it rises steadily with income up to around $75,000 a year. Past that point, income kept improving how people rated their overall life on paper. It mostly stopped moving the daily mood number. Here's what that means for you. Below this level, a raise measurably improves how your Tuesday feels. Around here, a raise still looks good in the banking app and stops moving how Tuesday actually feels, at least not by much. That's not money stops mattering. The type of relief changes here. Each new dollar's emotional payoff just gets smaller. A raise notification gives you a spike on Monday. By Thursday, the week feels exactly like last week's, and if mood mostly flattens here, the next 4 levels aren't chasing feeling better anymore. Each one is solving a different, oddly specific problem instead. Why does crossing 6 figures sometimes make your bank balance move backward relative to your life? Level 4, making it on paper. A 2018 Purdue study put the global life satisfaction satiation point close to $100,000 a year. The number people announce like a milestone. Here's the catch. Watch the number that actually matters, not the one on the offer letter. The apartment gets nicer, the car gets newer, a few subscriptions creep in, dinner's out, stop being an occasion and start being a Tuesday. Lifestyle creep is close to automatic. Spending expands almost exactly as fast as income rises. So the balance at month's end doesn't grow the way the salary number did. 2 people earning the identical 6 figures can have wildly different bank accounts a year later, and it has nothing to do with how much either one earns. Bigger paycheck, nicer things around you. Still that where did it go feeling every time the statement reset, because the number people are impressed by at dinner isn't always the number that changes your actual peace. Quick pause. We're halfway up this ladder and it's about to get stranger, not calmer. If you're already rethinking your last raise, subscribe now. The next 3 levels are where most people assume the stress finally ends. It doesn't. It just gets a new disguise. Here's a level where money stress genuinely drops, and a stress you never budgeted for moves in right behind it. Level 5, golden handcuffs. Around $200,000 a year, often a senior role or 2 incomes stacked, the scarcity stress from level 1 is basically gone, but pay at this level often comes bundled with more hours and a job that's harder to leave. The raise itself becomes the reason you stay somewhere you'd otherwise walk away from. You cancel weekend plans for the 3rd time this month, not because you need the money, because leaving early, quietly, feels like it costs more than it's worth. Stress doesn't disappear here. It just changes which number you're anxiously checking. Balance replaced by clock. Here's the level where a money problem stops being about not having enough and starts being about not knowing what to do with what you have. Level 6, complexity replaces scarcity. Around $500,000 a year, or a net worth crossing into genuinely complex territory, scarcity stress is essentially gone. You're not doing gas pump math anymore. Complexity stress moves in instead. Taxes, advisors, decisions nobody taught you how to make. There's also a documented effect at this size of money. Losing it hurts more psychologically than gaining the same amount helps. Researchers call it loss aversion, and it scales with what's at stake. A quick call with a financial advisor turns into an hour of decisions you didn't know existed a year ago. Money problems don't vanish at the top. They change species from survival to protection. This should feel like the finish line. For a specific research-backed reason, it often doesn't. Level 7, the treadmill keeps moving. Crossing $1 million in net worth or income is, by almost every measure, a different life than level 1. It is. But researchers who study adaptation, going back to classic work on lottery winners, found people recalibrate to a new normal fast. The comparison from level 2 never actually left. It just got new decimal places against a wealthier peer group. Remember that resetting reference point from level 2? Here it is again, wearing a nicer outfit. At dinner with new, wealthier peers, you catch yourself feeling behind again, the exact same feeling from level 2, just with more zeros attached. The ladder never delivers a finish line where relief becomes permanent. What changes, level by level, is which specific problem you're actually solving. Fair pushback. Does this mean money doesn't matter? That's not the research, and it's not this video's argument. For most people, income kept improving life satisfaction well past $75,000. A 2021 study using real-time mood tracking found less of a hard plateau than the original 2010 study suggested, but a later collaboration, including Kahneman himself, found the flattening effect was concentrated mostly among the least happy fifth of people. For most people, more money keeps helping steadily. For people already struggling with something unrelated to money, health, relationships, unresolved stress, extra income stops fixing a problem that was never about money. The ladder is real. The question at every level isn't, how do I get to the next number? It's, what am I actually trying to fix? And is more money the thing that fixes it? Remember the raise, the bigger number, that flicker of relief, and then nothing else. That wasn't a broken reaction. That was level 2 or level 3 or wherever you are on this ladder, doing exactly what the research says it does. Money keeps changing your life at every level here. It closes the gas pump math. It buys back your time, or tries to. It changes what kind of stress shows up next. What it doesn't do, at any level, including the top, is hand you a finish line where the comparing stops. That's not a reason to stop climbing. It's a reason to stop assuming the next number is the one that finally fixes everything. If this changed how you think about your next raise, subscribe to Danny Wolfe Finance. Next up, the same system treats you differently lens on the home you can actually afford at every one of these levels. Tell me in the comments, what income level are you on right now? And be honest, did the stress actually drop or did it just change shape? No judgment, just the ladder.